Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning, great morning to you all. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you for just taking the time out to tune in, to share your thoughts, just to share your views. I'm indeed delighted and happy to have you with us this morning. I don't take it for granted each morning that we come on and we share. And so I just want to take time out to say thank you so very much. As you come this morning, I encourage you to share with a friend. And if you're watching this rebroadcast and you enjoy it, I also encourage you to share with someone else. So we just want to give God all the glory. We give him all the praise. We give praise to the Most High God because we know in him we live, in him we move and have our being. And so this morning, I just want to say, Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. I worship you because of who you are. This morning, there's a song that says, Don't try to tell me that God is dead. He woke me up this morning. I'm going to sing this a few times as we wait for some people to join us in the room. Don't try to tell me God is dead. He woke me up this morning. Don't try to tell me he's not alive. He lives within my heart. He opened up my blinded eyes and set me on my way. Now don't try to don't do it. My God is dead. I just talked to him today. He lives. He lives. He lives within my heart. He opened up my blinded eyes and set me on my way. No, don't try to tell me that my God is dead. I just talked to him today. Don't try to tell me my God is dead. I just talked to him today. He lives. He lives. He lives within my heart. On the first day, he rode the tomb and he rose up triumphantly. He opened up my blinded eyes and set me on my way now. Don't try to tell me that my God is dead. I just talked to him today. Do you just talk to him? I just talked to him. I just talked to him. I just talked to him today. Homestead, you just talked to him. You just talked to him. You just talk to him today. Self-care, that and don't try to tell you that your God is dead. You just talk to him today because he lives. Yes, he lives. My Jesus, still alive. Shadeen. Oh, on the first day. Yes, on the third day, he burst the tomb and he rose up triumphant. He's no longer dead. He is no longer dead. We just talked to him. Raise your hand if you just talked to him this morning. I want to hear from you. Great morning to all of you who have joined us already. We are seeing Homestead, we are seeing Self Care, we are seeing Shadeen. We are saying, we just talk to him. If you just talk to him, let me hear you say, I just talked to him today. If you talk to him already this morning, I want to hear you say, I just talked to him. Sister Iris, you just talked to him. You just talked to him today. And Sister Iris is saying this morning, she is anointed. Right? We are anointed this morning, and I love it. I am blessed this morning and highly favored. I am above only and not beneath. I am well. I am healthy. I am strong. I am grateful for life this morning. Let me hear from all the people this morning who just talked to him. Go ahead and let us hear you in the chat. If you just talk to, they don't try to tell you that your God is dead. They can't tell me that my God is dead. You know what? I am alive this morning, and that's a testimony that God is indeed alive and well. And I just had a conversation with him today. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you ought to do is to give him thanks. I can't hear you. I'm not seeing you in my chat. I can hear you. If you just talk to him, I want you to write, just talk to him. If you talk to him this morning since you wake up, I want you to just talk to him. I want to hear from you, my people. Let us find the time and the place to give God all. That's what we're created to do. We are created to give him thanks. There's no good in us. There's no good in us. But we are favored by God to be here. Already, I'm seeing one person. I have 5 persons in the building this morning, and I only seen one say, I just talked to him. Come on, just pause where you are and say, Lord, I thank you. And that's talking to him. Come on, you don't need to go down on your knees. We just need to have the conversation with him. We could be walking, just lying on your bed, and recognize that you're able to open up your eyes and realize that you are still in the land of the living. For that alone, we are to just be grateful. I'm grateful this morning because the favors of God is upon my life. Who know that nobody or nothing can stop the favor of God upon your life? Nobody can stop it. Nobody. You are your own. You hold yourself back. Nobody. You can't say it's because of that person I didn't make it or I didn't do it. Oh no. Oh no. We're not to blame persons because we know we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And so this morning we are going to be talking a little bit about quick-tempered person. It is said a quick-tempered person does foolish things. Quick-tempered person does foolish things. If you know of any quick-tempered person, let me see you put a yes in the chat. If you know of any quick-tempered person, let me hear you. And this morning, I can't go to 8 this morning because I don't want to be late for work. I was late on, I think it was Friday, and that's not good. So we have to make sure we have the thing under control, right? So this morning, when a person does lose his or her temper, one of the most common expression used to describe their reaction is flying off the handle. So do you know anybody who is quick-tempered? Let me know in the comment section. Give me a yes if you are with me. If you know somebody who is quick temper, at least one. You don't have to know three, but one. Let me hear from you. If you know somebody who is quick tempered, then quick tempered. They said what is used to describe them is they fly off the handle. The phrase refers to the head of a hammer. And I didn't know that this morning. While I was preparing, I actually never know this. I never know that's how they I never know that's how persons call them. So you see, it's never too late to learn, you know. We learn daily. And we are seeing already, great morning to you, Brother Stefan is saying yes, he knows at least one person who is quick tempered. Only me and Brother Stefan know somebody who's quick tempered. Come on, let me hear you. Because I know we know at least one. Let me hear you. If you don't know, just write no. Okay? But we want to hear from you. Don't be silent no, guys. All right. So it is said, and did you know that's what they refer to them as? Flying off the handle. The common expression used to describe their reaction, flying off the handle. That was the first for me. I didn't know that was an expression that was used. We may use other expression, you know. Most time we say they're quick temper, they're jumpy. Those are some things that we probably would say, but I never heard flying off the handle. But they say the phrase is referred to the head of a hammer coming off from the handle as it is being used. So can you imagine if you are hammering something and you know the power of a hammer? And you can imagine when you're trying to hammer a nail, and the handle fly off. You can understand the head, would it be the head of the hammer fly off the handle? That can cause disaster. So I want you to have that image in your head as we go through this morning and have this conversation to say, don't be quick tempered. And if you are the person who's quick tempered, you still have an opportunity to change. You still have an opportunity to, make a change. So this morning, so if you know somebody who is quick tempered, you possibly need to share this with them. You probably need to just encourage them. Well, you have to be mindful because man, they get quick tempered on you too. So pray that they will find this one out for themselves. So what it says, several and not several good things happen as a consequence. So, as a consequence of being quick tempered, a lot of things good not going to be happening. And that is why we had to weigh our words. We can't be quick to answer. Sometimes we have to just settle in. No, it's true. We have to be mindful because if the person is quick tempered, person says, we have shared this with before, so they will probably get quick tempered on you. So leave it. Don't share it with them. Just pray that they will find it on their own. All right. But you never know. You might share it somewhere and the person will find it. So if you are able to share it, maybe on your WhatsApp status or on your Facebook page or your Instagram or your whatever it is, maybe that quick tempered person might just decide that they want to hear what we have to say, not just me, but all of us. So it is saying, number one, the hammer becomes useless. So when the handle, when it flies off the handle, when the hammer flies off the handle, it become useless. So I want you to type that for me. It becomes useless. So we have 3 points to discuss, and we should be wrapping up with another 20 minutes or so. Your message may be all important, but the manner in which you delivered it, whether or not you get the results, the results you desire. Simply stated, when people don't take you seriously, they don't get the outcome you hope to get. So it becomes useless when their hand fly off. It becomes useless. You can't use it. And so you have to be mindful of what you say, when you say it, how you say it. Because what it is saying here, the manner in which you deliver the message will determine if the person will receive it. So that is why sometimes people don't receive. Sometimes some people have some good ideas or they have some great messages, but the way they deliver it, we don't tend to want to listen. Have you ever had that experience? Somebody come to you, and when they come to you, they have a good word, but it's like you don't want to hear the way they come, so abrasive, so pushy, so angry, so harsh. It's like you don't want to receive the message, right? And I think sometimes even, preachers, sometimes when persons are preaching, they also have to be mindful. Sometimes the Lord is delivering a soul searching message, and it's different from when you come and you're almost like you're cussing with it. As I said, cussing with the people. The message may not be received, but sometimes there's a message. You see, the word itself alone is powerful. You don't have to quarrel with people. You just talk the word. The word itself will do what it needs to be done. And so, number one, what we are saying, the hammer becomes useless. Thank you, Brother Stefan. Hey, Marlon, morning to you. The hammer becomes useless because when it fly off, you don't have no use. So it is likened to the quick-tempered person. When it just fly off, you don't think about what you're going to say before you say it. And that's why we are here, to help each other up. Help each other we have to just weigh our words. I'm not telling you, sometimes it happened to all of us. I remember God is just a good God. Sometimes he allows things to happen to us that we can use as a testimony. And it was just yesterday, I had a situation, and I tell you, I wouldn't say I got so upset. I'm probably not even quick temper, but I was annoyed. I'm probably upset too over the situation. And you know what? I generally work like until 7 o'clock when I'm working from home in these time. Before I used to work 8, 9, 10, but I kind of cut that out because I recognize that's taking too much toll on my body, and I'm not getting younger. No, I just decided that I'm just gonna stop working by 5 o'clock, and it's like I was good right throughout the day, and at the end of the day, I got a word that got me so upset. So we are not perfect. But the good thing is I didn't take it out on anybody. Yeah, me call one of my friends and me take it out on her. So you have to have somebody who you are able to talk with. We are able to say, this is the situation. And you are able to say, just express yourself. Express yourself to the person how you are feeling so you can come out. Have you ever had a situation that you feel so upset or have you ever just lose your temper? Just lose it. Let me know if you have ever, type a yes if you have ever just lose your temper. Let me know. Me know say I'm to me. Let me know if you say you don't know a quick tempered person. Have you ever lost your temper? Tell us if you have ever. Type a yes if you have lost your temper. Okay, I see one person. So Trina said yes. I see Brother Stefan said yes, yes. Anybody else? Have you ever lost your temper? I want you to tell me. If your answer is yes, tell me how you feel after you react. After you sit down and you have and the reaction. Tell me how you feel afterwards. You sit down and analyze and say, some never have to behave that way. Some never have. It's like you start to literally feel bad. Well, me personally, I don't know. It could be some people say it might be a situation that them feel better because them just tell people their mind. So I want to hear from you. Let's keep it going. After you lose your temper, how do you feel afterward? Is there a remorse or a relief, or you tell me, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but tell me how you feel after you would have lost your temper. For me, is several things. It's like almost like a weight come off my shoulder. But then sometimes after the fact, depending on where I say what I say, I might feel bad. So it depends. There has been situation for me personally that me feel relief. I remember I lost my temper one day. But to be honest, me say no, me not hold it down. A person need to get it this time. I don't know if that was the right thing to do anyway. Because you remember yesterday we talked about the lady who was being tested by her husband, right? And she decided that even though she was in her church clothes, to go through the door and her husband said, cook me the meal. This is what I want for breakfast. I want kidney and banana and dumpling. And she had to take off her clothes going to church to cook her husband the meal. I was saying many of us probably would have lose our temper then and says, we not do that. You know? So for me, I felt really, really bad. So Marlon, he said he have no remorse. Okay, so that is how. So he released the stress that is on him. Stephanie said, the cup full to the brim, then I have to apologize. It happened. Self-care said, me feel sad afterwards. It does happen. So different people will have different reaction. So for me, twofold. It depends on this. Sometimes I'm going to feel a little sense of relief, but when you, in terms of perspective, and to see whether or not did you represent as you should have represented. So it all, for me, it all depends, because there are some people you have to hit the nail on the head and say, look here, no. Because you have some person, they say liberty comes through carelessness. Sometimes some person want to take advantage of you because you don't normally see some certain things. And so it's important for us to, we have to weigh our words. We have to be mindful. You have some people who are troublemakers. That's brother. It's true, brother Stefan. You have some people who they consider to be troublemaker. We have at least one anywhere you go. You have one at your workplace. You have one in your community. You have one in your church space. Let me know. And you have at least one in your family too. You have at least one of them in your family. Let me know. You have at least one. These people just keep you on your knees. They keep you praying. They keep you sane. They keep you, help you to keep your sanity. Because it's like they are the tempter of your life. They are troublemakers for real. And sometimes it may be a troublemaker too, they say that when a lady going towards that time of the month, they become upset and angry easily. And some things that way, you have to say, where that come from? And one day, one of my friends said it to me. He said, no, Trina, most time when you're ready, when that time is coming, it's like everything people said to you just annoy you. And sometimes you just bring up some argument that don't even call for. And I started to look back and I realized that sometimes I pick an argument with my husband, for no reason at all. I'm confessing, right? I will just start. I say, where that come from? Where that come from? You understand? So these things will happen to us. So yes, some people wants to drive you crazy, said self-care. I can't do without God. I can't leave him out. God has to be, and that is why we have to say, create in us, God, a clean heart, renew the right spirit within us. We have to ask him for help. If we try it on our own, we will fail. We will not make it. So it's important that we ensure that we ask that he order our steps in his word. So number 2, the hammerhead does not does damage. So when the hammerhead comes off, it can do tons of damage. And we are lightening it onto a quick-tempered person. So number 2 is the head does damage. And so you just flying off, you can create so much damage. You will be surprised that the damage you caused because you didn't weigh your words. It said, by flying out of control, it is likely to damage anything in its path. Can you imagine if you were hammering right beside a window and it fly off? It's begin to it smash the window. It cause you a new window because you are out of control. So these are the things that you want to look at. Words spoken in anger cause wounds. Words spoken in anger cause wounds. And sometimes those wounds cannot last for a lifetime. And so that is why we have to be mindful. Those wounds, and I've been there sometimes, and I would have done things and say things, and it's like when you start to look back at it yourself, really and truly. And as Brother Stefan rightly said, have to apologize. There are many times I have to apologize. Many times I have to apologize. You have some people, they will never, ever apologize to you. But don't let that stop you. Apologize. I have to apologize because I recognize. I remember one day I said something to one of my staff, and in the evening, I felt so terrible. I didn't say it in anger, and I think I probably was maybe annoyed. I don't know. I don't know. I think it was the approach of the staff. I really don't know. But in myself, I felt like, it wasn't the right response I gave or the right thing to do. I had to go back and apologize. So number two, a head does damage. So James writes, pause this at all the intersection, dear friends. Leave with your ears, follow with your tongue, and let anger struggle along in the rear. God's righteousness does not grow from human anger. So if we quickly jump over to James 1, verse 19 and 20, let us hear what it says. James 1, verse 19 and 20. It says, wherefore, my brethren, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not righteousness of God. So you see, we are to be doing what? What the word says we are to do? Every man be swift to hear, but slow to speak, and slow to wrath. So we are to just make sure that we are doing that. So number three, the third point we want to talk about this morning is repairing both the hammer and the damage may take a long time. To repair the hammer and the damage that it caused may take a long time. Let me understand, when you get angry and it affects the other person, does the repair happens same time? Let me know for you. Does it happen at the same time? Even say you, Brother Stefan, when you apologize, does that damage repair instantly, or does it take some time? Does it take some time for it to come into place, for persons to understand and to recognize that, listen, I'm really sorry, you are really sorry. I want to hear from you. Let me know if you truly, how long will the repair take? Is there a time limit in which the repair should take? Do you think there should be a time limit on how long we should hold it up, or how long will the repair happen, or how long, because sometimes if you damage something, and we're lightning to things that we can see, and so you damage the window or the door, or you damage the stove or the fridge, it could take you a long time for you to repair it. It can take you months, possibly years, because you may not. Because, say, for example, I damage my door. A part of my door has glass in it, has a nice glass in the middle. Now, if I damage that, chances are it's going to cost me over $100,000, because I think I paid, I think maybe about $170,000 for this door. Sometimes, um and that was like over 8 years ago. So I can imagine how much it would cost me just to repair. And it is the person who made the door says the glass is what was the most expensive part on it. So it is really important that we understand that sometimes it will take a long time, and another time it will be instantaneous, because sometimes the damage may not that be that bad. If you can quickly if you can quickly pull back and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Because sometimes we do things and we don't do it with that ill feeling, but the receiver receive it in that manner. And if the receiver receive it in a particular manner, it is for us to go and say, oh, I'm really sorry. That was never the intention, and apologize. And so we can move on. And just be sincere about it. Don't try to justify it. Just be sincere. And you will be surprised. Oh, at that time, it will make it easier. The repair comes with maturity. Beautiful. Boy, I'm happier. You're my helper today, Brother Stefan. The repair comes with, you couldn't say it any better. You could not say it any better. Comes with maturity. And so, as I was sharing with you with the thought I had yesterday, it was just something simple that was said. And the person read what I said out of context. Out of context. So it showed me that person wasn't really mature. I'm not even sure how the person came by it. So as you said, maturity. Over time, you will understand that people don't mean to harm you. They mean to help you. And if I say to you, you need to improve in this way, you need to improve in that way, then what I'm saying to you, I want to help you. I'm telling you how I feel. You cannot say, well, me I feel that way far. You cannot quarrel because it is my reality. So if somebody is expressing to you how they feel, or their body language will tell you that they are not receiving what you are saying, it means you probably need to do some introspection. Just analyze, how did I say this? How did I say it? Did I say it was my tone right? Was my motive right? Let us look at those things, because we're not going to get it right all the time. We're not going to get it right all the time. And chances are, out of every time we have a conversation, somebody gonna take offense to it. Even what we're talking about today, somebody might hear this and take offense to it. So no matter what you do, person will be offended. But it can't be that the majority is offended. If the majority is offended, chances are what you said and do what really wasn't done the right way. So it's important that we understand that. It says, again, a quick-tempered person does foolish things. They do foolish things. It's like, well, me, I got someone else in a business. As a child of God, we are to weigh our words. We are to be mindful. We are to be here to help persons up. We are to be here to heal them, to help them to heal. We aren't going to be the healer. We're going to help them to go to the healer, who is Jesus Christ. We want to help them. We want to restore them. We should be like a hospital when they come. They say the church should be like a hospital that way. When the sick come, they shall be healed. But sometimes the wounded come and they leave with the wounds wide open. At your workspace, Sometimes persons just come there for a little peace and quiet because when they're home, too much chatting, too much challenge. The children making noise, husband or the wife giving problem. So too much. So when they come to work, they want like a peace. So as leaders sometimes, or maybe not even leader, maybe you are the troublemaker at work. You never know. Sometimes people just need a little peace and quiet. So we have to understand and remember and realize where we are this morning. It says we should refrain from vent. We should refrain from venting. A quick-tempered person does foolish things. I don't want us to do foolish things this morning. And that's why I'm here to remind myself and remind all of you who are listening that refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret. It leads to evil. And if we jump over to Psalm 37, it will put it nicely for us. Psalm 37. Let's jump over to Psalm 37, verse 8. It says, cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. So we should not fret in any wise to do evil. We shouldn't do that. Proverbs 19, verse 11 also reminds us a person's wisdom yields patience. So it comes again with maturity. It comes again with maturity. It heals patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. Sometimes we can overlook it. Sometimes we can overlook the offense. Sometimes we can overlook it. A lot of times things happen, and I've been seeing a lot of those in recent time. I just have to just overlook. Sometimes I see sometimes some staff do have some bad attitude. Sometimes you talk to them and their response is just I just overlook it. I said I'm not even gonna take on that one. Sometimes you just need to do that. Don't take it on. Do not take it on. Do not take it on. Sometimes just leave it. Apologies come with maturity. Put away pride, self, and our strong ego. It can't be an eye for an eye situation. Amen to that, Brother Stefan. It's maturity. It's maturity. You have some people, they will never ever apologize because it's like to them apologizing that they feel that they are weak when they apologize or that they are wrong. You don't have to be wrong to apologize. You can actually be right, but there still is a need to apologize. Do you believe that? Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. Hey, Natasha, good morning. We started a bit earlier this morning because, of course, I have to finish by 7:45. I definitely have to finish by 7:45. Let me know. Do you think you apologize because you are right or wrong? Apologizing doesn't mean you are wrong. That is my opinion. What says you? Do you apologize because you are wrong? I don't think so. That's just my perspective, but it's not a one-man show. I would like to hear from you. Is it that you apologize because you are wrong? Because a lot of times, from my perspective, you are right. But the receiver didn't receive your message in the manner or in the intent in which you wanted it to be. They become offended. They become annoyed or angry or feeling down. So they didn't receive the message. So you are apologizing for the act, how it was bring forward, or how the person received it. Not because you were wrong, because your message might be right, but the way in which it was said, you know. So from my perspective, I really apologize if it make you feel really sad. It was really never the intent for you to feel the way you did. And let me apologize for that. It doesn't mean that you were wrong. It doesn't mean you were wrong. Apologies bring healing. Oh my God. Thank you, Brother Stefan. Healing. It brings healing to the situation. I mean, there are persons in my life who sometimes they would never ever apologize. And when I get an apology, I said, wow, I feel it does a whole lot for me. Like if I was at 50, it took me up to like a 99. Apology brings healing. So Natasha says apology does not mean you are wrong. Sometimes persons understand it the wrong way. And that's true. It's true. And it comes to what I was saying happened to me yesterday. Yeah. They on the understanding of what you said or did. And I remember personal experience, doing something, and the person who the other party got so angry over what I did and upset. And I'm saying, why are you upset? And when the person started to explain why they upset, me said, no, that was never the intention. No, man, that wasn't the intention. And I begin to explain why I did what I did. And then the person understood. And it brings about healing. Marlon said sometimes apologies are just spoken words. If you're not going to mean your apology, don't do it. Because the person going to say you don't mean it. Don't nobody waste your breath and do it. Don't just say I'm sorry because the word that if you say you are sorry. When somebody apologizes, I know you feel it. You feel it. Even if you feel really, really bad, you might just say, okay. But I think later on you will receive it. If you don't receive it instantaneously, you will feel better later on when you understand that, yeah, it came from a good place. The last verse that we wanted to do is Ecclesiastes 7, verse 9, and then we are about done because I'm not going to go till we're late this morning. Ecclesiastes 7, verse 9. Do be not hasty in spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. What the word says? Do be not hasty in spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. Let's not be hasty this morning. Let us not be hasty. Shay, you just enter the room to hear the last point. Mrs. Williams, you just enter the room to hear the last point. Be not hasty in spirit to be angry, for anger rested in the bosom of fools. Do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the lap of fools. That's another version. Same word. So The word for all of us today is don't fly off the handle. Don't fly off the handle. I hope this morning you were blessed. I hope you could look back at some things in your life and say, wow, I should not have done that, or I'll do this way next time. We talk about three things when you fly off the handle. What can happen? The hammer becomes useless. Number two, the hammer head does damage. And number three, repairing both the hammer and the damage may take a long time. So this is speaking to someone who is angry, a quick-tempered person. What you say, people will not will want to hear from you again. Whatever you say hurt somebody else. And finally, whatever you do, it repairing both hammer and the damage may take. So repairing the person, it may take a long time. So this morning, I hope you were blessed. Of course, I'm always blessed coming over, and I'm really grateful that you decided to join me this morning. And for now, I will have to go. Before you go, make sure you leave your affirmation in the comment section below. And if you so desire, you could also leave your takeaway from what we have said. I mean, Brother Stefan shared tons of nuggets this morning, and those were powerful. I really, really enjoy them. One of the outstanding things that stood out for me is that apology comes with maturity. Apology comes with maturity, and it also brings healing. So that's going to be my takeaway. It will bring healing. So this morning, I'm blessed. I'm favored by God. I am delivered. I am a winner. I am destined for success. I am peace. I am calm. I am happy. And I'm living my best life right this moment. I'm being happy with what I have because I have life and the opportunity to change. God bless you today. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day, rest of the week, and God's willing, we will meet again tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye, everyone.